Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to go ahead and break down paycheck number 2 for April of 2019, and that will be followed by my cash envelope stuffing. Also, I did want to mention that you will notice a few changes on my breakdown, and I will touch more on those at the end of this video. So if you're interested in cash envelope stuffings, stay tuned for that. I'll see you guys in a bit. Bye-bye. Okay guys, and I am back. So as you can tell, this has already been filled out, and that's because I filmed this, and again, for some reason, my camera, well, I mean, y'all know I use my iPhone, but for some reason, for the past few videos that I've shot, it's now like focusing on something else, like when I try and sit down in front of it, because the angle that I'm currently using is an angle that basically feels like you're over my shoulder, as before I used to shoot from the side and I would have to put everything like this, because I feel like that's a better angle and you guys can kind of fully see it and you kind of sort of can follow me along a little bit better. So basically it focused on everything else but this, and you could still see this because of the color, I think. But anyways, so I had already filmed this and it, you know, just was not great, and I knew that it was gonna take me a while to go back and, you know, write this out, and I had already put stickers on this, and I was like, I don't know that I want to do it again. But anyways, I'm just leaving it as is, and then we're just gonna go through it. Now, again, as I discussed in my intro, and I'll discuss a little bit more about it at length at the end of this video, but you're gonna see some changes on my actual breakdown, and it's getting me back up there to a place where I didn't want to be. I wanted to be at $1,800 monthly, but I'm still about $185 over, and that's with some major adjustments. So not super bad, but still like not ideal for me. So yeah, so let's go through this. So as always, I started with rent, and rent got $225. Capital One, as you all know, if you've seen my previous videos, I got hit really hard on my emergency fund, and my pets, Pebbles and Bam Bam, have gotten sick like basically back to back, and I had depleted their emergency fund, and I had their pet fund and all that stuff, and I had to put some of it on my credit card when Pebbles got sick. So I'm back to paying Capital One. The good thing is that it's not like a big amount, but I can't pay it off yet because, as I had mentioned in my what I spent this week video, which I posted last week, and I'll link it up here if you haven't seen it yet, is that I was gonna have to stall my debt Snowball because my emergency fund had taken a massive hit. And when I first started this process, I already had my $1,000 emergency fund. So that's why you really never saw me discuss it, because I already had the $1,000 in there, but it got, you know, pretty much depleted, and I'm trying to build that back up again because, like, in case of an emergency, it has been truly helpful. So while I would love to continue paying off on my debt, it just doesn't make sense right now. I'm going to keep giving the minimum payments because I know that at least that will help me stay, you know, up to date, and it won't affect me as much. So $25 for Capital One, DirecTV Now gets 11, Spectrum gets 18, Esurance gets 31, then IRS is 27, and the really great news about this one is that I'm almost done paying IRS because I was using my debt Snowball to really hit this once I figured out that T-Mobile was really weird to get out of, and I'm just gonna try and hit that first because this was my biggest amount, and it's gaining interest, which was making it a lot more than I needed to pay. But anyways, this debt started at, when I first started this process, this debt was at, oh my gosh, I can't remember off the top of my head, but I want to say 5,000, and now it's at, I believe it was 854 when I last looked at it, and that's because all of my income that I got this year, I just threw it at the IRS. I just let them have it. I got it and pretty much sent it right back. So that brought my total down drastically. So now I'm like in the last leg of that. That's going to be paid off soon, so I'm super excited about that. So then this $27 monthly thing will go away soon. Or I mean, sorry, $54 monthly, because it's $27 every 2 weeks. So that's good. And then we have T-Mobile, and T-Mobile is $57. Then Dropbox gets $5. Netflix and Hulu don't get funded in this breakdown because they get funded from paycheck number 1 of every month. iCloud storage gets $5. Then car payment, that's $114 a month, and the interest is really low. It's like 2 to 3%, but that's included already in how much I'm paying monthly. So it's not like I'm going to accumulate interest. The interest is just added to the monthly payment, so it's all inclusive. So it's not going to be more than what I'm paying or anything like that. So it's $228 a month. Well, it's $227, but I rounded to $8 because it was always going to be difficult to break the number. So I'll always have $1 extra every month. So that makes it $114 every 2 weeks and then $228 a month. Then car gas, because of the new car, I had to go up $10 because gas is getting close to the $5 range here in LA. So I'm starting off with $40 every 2 weeks and see where that leaves me, which basically makes it $80 a month for now. Then we have groceries and household, and that remains at $40 every 2 weeks and $80 monthly. Pets is $60 every 2 weeks and $120 a month. Now, I have had people mention getting pet insurance, and I originally thought of getting pet insurance, but I was told that there's all of these like restrictions and like all of these, you know, if you have any pre-existing things, like they don't take care of them, they don't take care of any of your regular checkups. That's what I was told when I was like shopping around, and maybe I misunderstood because I've had a few subscribers comment regarding them having pet insurance, and that might actually just be the best alternative for me so that I can make their pet fund a little bit less and then throw the difference and maybe a little bit more at pet insurance for them, because my dogs are super bougie and they do get sick at least once to twice a year. So I'm gonna go ahead and research it once more and then just get straightened out, because from what I saw based on what y'all commented, it doesn't seem to work the way that I initially understood, and it might be the best thing for my little fur babies. Okay, and then from there we go to personal spending. Now personal spending went up to $75 every 2 weeks and $150 monthly, and I will show you why when I get to my sinking funds. Then personal maintenance remains at $13 bi-weekly and then $25 monthly, so it's $12 and $13. And then therapy gets $25, so that made my total $771. Okay, now for the sinking funds, guys. Okay, so as you can see from my sinking funds, there's not a lot of them anymore. So what I did is that I tried to put some categories together, and we'll see how it works. I just have a lot of envelopes, and even in my fixed expenses, like now these have, you know, now they're outrageous. I think I have like 20. So anyways, what I'm thinking that for my next breakdown, I might actually put all of my subscriptions in one envelope to get rid of some of these envelopes. So like I would put my iCloud storage, my Hulu, my Netflix, my Dropbox in, and technically DirecTV now is a subscription because it's streaming, not like actual DirecTV. So that might all go in like one envelope so that I can condense it. It would get rid of like 5 envelopes and then they would just go into one to make it like, you know, less, just because I just feel like I'm just adding envelopes. Even though I obviously got rid of a few from here. I got rid of work fund. I got rid of toiletries and makeup. I got rid of clothing fund, and I got rid of gifts. So because I always struggled with saving up for gifts and Christmas while I was on this journey, because I just feel bad. I feel bad if I don't get someone something, you know, but I had to make a choice. I had to prioritize my life and what makes sense for my husband and I, you know, going forward, especially if at some point we do want to have children. So once I took all of those things into consideration and really did prioritize, and that's why I have that here and in my fixed expenses, I got rid of that fund. Now I may go back to it at some point, but right now with trying to get my emergency fund back up and running, with the new car, with new insurance that's coming up in September, it just doesn't make sense. And then also with my fur babies getting sick and wanting to get them pet insurance, it just really doesn't make sense for me. So if anyone that I know is watching this, just know that you'll be getting, you know, birthday cards and my love for this year anyway. And I hope that's okay. But anyways, so I got rid of a few of them. So now we have car maintenance, and car maintenance stays at $60 a month. IMDb Pro actually doesn't get anything from this breakdown. Then SAG dues. Now SAG dues I'm actually paying at the end of this month, and that's gonna go back down. This is actually going down to $40 monthly and $20 from this breakdown. And that's because I haven't landed a job this season. So I know that my next quarter is going to be a lot less, but what this envelope will actually finish paying off this quarter, which is at the end of this month. Then health insurance is $34. Then doctor and meds gets $15. Anniversary burn birthday gets $15. And then emergency fund gets $200. So essentially my debt snowball becomes my emergency fund until my emergency fund is built up again. Now, my debt snowball used to get $300, but I had to accommodate the new cost of the monthly payment for the car. So then now when you take this and you total it out, let's see, okay. Oh my gosh. I just realized it's not 200 from this emergency fund, it's 100, and it's 200 monthly. I have not had my full cup of coffee yet, you guys. It's like still in here. So I was like, wait, that's off. Let's do this again. Oh, you guys, where's my head? Where's my head this morning? I do not know. I'm giving you the monthly totals as opposed to like the bi-weekly totals. So this one is actually 60 monthly and it's 30 every 2 weeks. Okay, I think that's the last of it because this is 30, 30, 68, and 40. So I think we're good. Okay, let's try this again, shall we? Okay, that makes more sense. So my total for sinking funds is 214. And then my grand total, let's see, that's 771 plus 214. So 985 for this breakdown. And that's it, you guys. So after all of those mistakes, my gosh, yeah, this is just not going well today. I'm like so tired, and I have to meet my husband at the dealership in a little bit because I have to go drop off the new car because they have a few things to do before it's like completely done. And the car is already mine, but we still haven't given the check for the full amount because we're buying it out cash. But there's a few things that they have to do before we do that. So anyways, I gotta, like, my brain's like, I gotta go, but I also want to do this and finish this. So, okay, so anyways, so these are my sinking funds. And then these are my fixed expenses. I will be right back with my cash envelope stuffing. I'll see you guys in a bit. Okay, and I'm back with my cash envelope stuffing. And as always, I'm gonna go ahead and start with rent, and rent gets $225. That's 1, 2, 20, and 5. And I already have the other half in here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 20, 40, 5, and 50. 450. Okay, and then we have my Capital One Quicksilver, and that gets $25. That's 20 and 5. Okay, then we have DirecTV Now, and DirecTV Now gets $11. It's 10 and 11. Okay, then Spectrum gets $18. Oh. You guys, this is rough for me today. So it's 10, 15, 16, 17, and 18. I like literally pretty much rolled out of bed to do this. I'm like, I didn't even put on my ring. I'm like literally sitting here in my pajamas right now trying to get this done because I know we're gonna have a full day at the dealership today. Esurance gets $31. 20, 30, and 1. The IRS gets $27. T-Mobile gets $57. 55, 56, 57. Then Dropbox gets 5. Then Netflix and Hulu don't get anything from this breakdown. Then we have iCloud storage, and iCloud storage gets 5 as well. Then car payment gets $114. that's 1, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And this actually already has $100 in here because the gift money went into this. Okay, so this has $100. So it's gonna be $14 short, so I'm gonna have to make that up with my spending fund. Although I think I did end up getting some extra cash here because I couldn't get in line at Chase because it was really long and I had to get going. So I just took it out from the ATM and I had to like round up to like a certain amount in order to pull it out. So we'll see. So that's 1, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So that's 214. So car payment is almost ready to go. Then gas gets $40. It's 2040, and I believe it still has some money in here. Yeah, because I didn't end up using this on the old car, and the new car, my husband filled up the tank for me. And I believe actually when I go to Toyota today, they're gonna fill my tank as well. So I have 60, wait, right? Yeah, 20, 40, and 60. Okay, then we have groceries and household, and this was wiped out with my London trip. For those of you who are wondering, like, how can you go to London and, you know, and then like now you have a car payment, all this stuff. I was actively saving for London. So I saved $300 for London because I figured that that's what it was going to be more or less, since I am the primary friend of a flight attendant, so I don't have to pay for a ticket. The only reason I had to pay for going to London is because Heathrow's taxes are major. So originally we were going to fly into like Dublin or Paris where the taxes are really low or like no tax at all. Because when I fly economy anywhere, it should be free pretty much everywhere in the world except for Heathrow. So I ended up paying, I think it was $170, and we were in economy plus, and that was for a round trip. I mean, like to London, that's like unheard of. So I had sort of planned on spending that kind, and then I knew that we were gonna pay, I was gonna at least pay like $70 for my part in like a hotel, and then I knew that we were gonna have a couple of meals, and I knew that Julie really wanted to have a nice dinner. So that was all like already saved for, and the tickets I had gotten like a year and a half, like a year ago. Yeah, even before I started budgeting, I had gotten those tickets, so those tickets were already paid for. So yeah, so that's how I was able to do it, because I've been actively saving for that, and I saved $300. So anyways, this is wiped out. So then we're gonna put 40 in here. It's 20 and 40. Then we have pets, and pets gets 60. It's 20, 40, and 60. And this one, as you guys know, is completely depleted with Bam Bam's vet visit. Then spending fund is going to get 75. It's 20, 40, 60, 70, and 5. So again, this is because I'm combining work fund, toiletry and makeup, and clothing fund into my work fund, and I actually made it less than that would have been, because usually each one of those funds got $30 a month. So that was an extra $90 a month, and my spending fund got $100 a month. So I basically cut that down to the $20 to $25 for all three, like not even $30 for all three. And we'll see how that works out. So anyways, that's 20, 40, 60, 70, and 5. Okay, then we have personal maintenance, and personal maintenance gets 13. 10, 11, 12, and 13. And this is definitely going to be used and not going to be enough for when I go to New York, because I have to get my nails done mani and pedi for the red carpet, and I have to go to the dry bar and to Blushington so that I can do my hair and makeup. So yeah, and this is definitely not going to be enough, so that's another hit that I'm going to take. Okay guys, those are my fixed expenses, and these are done. I'm going to go ahead and move on to my sinking funds. So I'm going to go ahead and start with car maintenance, and car maintenance gets $30. Oh, a 5 is hiding under that 10. So that's 20 and 30. So now I have 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40, 60, 82, 20, 40, 60, 70. So I have 270 of my car maintenance fund. And I had to dig into this fund a little bit because of my older car. Okay, then IMDb Pro doesn't get funded with this breakdown. It gets funded with paycheck number 1 of every month. Then we have SAV dues, and SAV dues gets $20. So that's 20. And then Total is 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40, 60, 82, 20, 40, 60, 83, 20, 40, 60, 5, 70, say 5, 80. Okay, then we have health insurance, and health insurance gets 34. So it's 25, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. And then okay. 20, 40, 60, 70, 80, 5, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 102. So I have 102. Then we have medical and med copays, and this gets 15. So 5, 10, 15. So it's 10, 15, 20, 25. Then we have Bryn birthday anniversary, and that gets 15. It's 5, 10, 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So it's 10, 20, 30, 40, 5, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 1, 2, 73, 74, 75. So $75. And then finally, my dead snowball / emergency fund is getting $100. Anyways, I knew I was gonna have some cash left over. Okay, so I think I'm gonna put this in my car payment fund because I know I'm gonna be short $14 because I just started that fund. So that'll make up a little bit of the money that I need to put into it. And then the $5 bill challenge. Now this is gonna be challenging for me because I started using Capital, and I'm really, really, really liking that card and that app a lot. But that means that I'm putting all of my spending fund into that card so that it can keep track of it and my sweet spot, and then also save for things. So I'm not really sure how I'm going to continue to do this, but I do want to continue to do this because I mean, I've saved up $95 in the past couple of months, you know, and it's just so easy. So I'm gonna see how I'm gonna do it. Maybe I can just ask my husband, do you have any 5s on you? And then that'll go in here. So we'll see. So anyways, these are my sinking funds. Thus, and then these are my fixed expenses. And then in here, we're gonna take the car payment and add those extra $2. So now that'll make it $216 as opposed to $214. And that is it, you guys. So fixed expenses and sinking funds. And I'll be back in a bit to end this video and then to go a little bit more in depth into some of the changes. I'll see you guys in a bit. Bye-bye. And I'm back. So there you have it, folks. That's my paycheck number 2 breakdown for April of 2019 and my cash envelope stuffing. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And now I wanted to go ahead and talk about the changes that I made to my new breakdown. You will notice that there is now a car payment. You will notice that my gas went up and my personal spending went up, and I got rid of a few categories in my sinking funds, and then I also had to stall my dead snowball in order to fund my emergency fund and get it back to $1,000. So it's a lot has happened, and I think a few of you may have noticed that I was a little bit stressed out, and it wasn't only because of budget with a friend. That was a little bit overwhelming for me, and I did want to mention that I'm currently no longer taking submissions because I'm still working through the ones that I currently have in my inbox, and I'm trying to figure out how to do this whole Patreon thing because it wasn't really something that I really wanted to do, but I know that it might help me come up with like some sort of a better process for this where I can can still help out the budgeting community, but I'm not like super like, you know, inundated with a lot of budgets that I have to work with. And like, I know people get impatient, and I know that you don't mean to bug or anything like that, but when I'm getting the constant emails of people checking in, I get why you're doing it, but I'm like, oh my gosh, like I don't want to let them down, because I'm very much a people pleaser, and sometimes it's to my own detriment. So I just feel a lot of pressure. It's not that you're putting pressure on me, it's that I'm just putting pressure on myself. So if I'm not answering your emails, it's not because I'm ignoring you, it's just because I can't get to it that moment, and because I know that I can't get to your specific budget at the time. I'm just not answering right now because I'm still working through so many. So at the moment, I'm not taking any more at the moment. I will let you guys know in a future video when I'm opening it back up again. But anyways, that was a little bit stressful, but not as much as everything that was happening in my life. And there's a lot happening, really good stuff and stuff that's not so great. And that's reflected obviously in my budget breakdown. So one of the first things, obviously the big noticeable one that you'll see, is that now I have a car payment. I have not had a car payment since 2006. And that's a huge change, you guys, because I really was afraid to get one again. And especially because I'm still working on my credit. So my credit isn't that great. And so I knew that the APR that they were going to offer me was going to be really high. But I knew that I needed a car because my current car, it's on its last legs. But as of right now, the work that I would have to probably put in it myself would be like $1,500, and that car's worth about $2,000. So it just didn't seem like the smartest thing to do. So I started looking at new cars, and I ended up finding a 2013 VW convertible bug, and it's something that I had always wanted, and it was actually in a pretty decent price range, but I knew that I had to get into a car payment. You know, we debated back and forth and like debated on the APR. The first APR that was offered to me was 24.99, and I was like, no, absolutely not. I will never pay off that car, because it's a used car or a pre-owned car. And then they came back with like, I don't know, like 12.99%, which was better, like half of what they originally offered me, but it was still too high. And my husband ended up calling his mom, my mother-in-law, and asked her about his APR, because he just got out of a car payment. He bought his car in 2015 and he was like trying to get out of it. And his mom was basically like, run, do not get that car. And, you know, then we were kind of just talking in the process and stuff. And my mother-in-law was kind enough to buy the car cash, and then we worked out an arrangement to where I would pay her so that I wouldn't have to pay the high APR and just make payments towards the car. And if that wasn't generous enough, she gifted me half of the price of the car. So the car ended up being like $15,500, and she gifted me half of that, and I only have to pay her back the other half, which is amazing. So now my payments, as you saw, are they're $227, but I rounded up to $228 because I just didn't want to divide up, so I'm always gonna have like an extra dollar. But yeah, so those are my payments until that's paid off. Whatever I sell my current car for, that money is just gonna go straight to her, so I can pay that down. The sooner the better. And if I get another series or like a gig, that money is gonna go to her, because I want to pay her off as soon as possible, even though I don't have an APR or anything like that. I super lucky, you guys. I think like I cried because I was just very like overcome with gratitude. Yeah, it's no one had ever done anything like that for me, and that was just amazing. So thank you to her. So that's one of the biggest changes. So that's my car payment that I'm making now. And then the other changes was that I got rid of my toiletry and makeup fund, my work fund, and my clothing fund, and combined them into a personal spending fund, because I just don't want to have all of these envelopes. Like, I just feel like I have so many, and I want to start to condense more. And even as I was doing this breakdown today, I saw that I have like Hulu and Netflix and a Dropbox and iCloud storage, all of those. So I'm just probably going to condense those into subscriptions envelope, because it's a lot of different categories. And while I need all of those different categories, I think I can make it a little bit more efficient than it, or streamline it a little bit more than it is currently now. I've been trying to make some changes and make the best changes possible, and also without overdoing it. And now, as I've mentioned several times before, I'm going to Tribeca on Sunday, and I'm going to be in New York from Sunday to Sunday, and that takes money. And then I test tomorrow for my notary public license here in the state of California. So I'm going to be like in that all day. So we'll see. It's very busy, guys. Very busy. That's it. I think those are all the updates I have for now. Okay, so as always, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so now, and then ring my bell so you can stay up to date with everything I have coming up, and then please like and comment. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.